And welcome back to Hannity. We are coming to you live from the Democratic National Convention. We are in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, and in just a few minutes, Sandra Fluck will take to the stage and deliver her remarks. We'll bring it to you live when that happens, but joining me now with a preview of tonight's speeches, we welcome the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Culture of Corruption, Fox News contributor, our friend Michelle Malkin. I never get to see you in person.
I know. Here we are. That's right.
All right, we got a little preview of release of the Sandra Fluck speech. She will say, in that America, your new president could be a man who stands by a public figure who tries to silence a private citizen with hateful slurs. This is how Sandra Fluck got the call from Obama. And who won't stand up to the slurs or to any extreme bigoted voices in his own party. Wait a minute. This is the same Barack Obama that took $1 million from Bill Maher, who's President Obama never called Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann.
That's right. Well, I think this is such a grand theater production to try and distract, from the failures of Obamacare. Because remember that this Sandra Fluck rose to fame in a few matters of months, somebody who had been primed as a tool for the feminist left. And she came to fame in order to peddle free birth control. I mean, this radical, extreme woman is now a standard bearer of the Democratic Party.
But it seems to me, I mean, the fact that she's here and how the relationship got started, and then think Bill Maher gives $1 million to Obama.
Yep.
And he called Sarah Palin the C word,
the
B word, attacked her children.
Yeah, let's distract from the real war on conservative women. Yeah. And let's talk about the war on pro-life Democratic women. They have no voice on this platform. There are 21 million Democrats out there, Sean, that identify themselves as pro-life. What do they think of this abortion palooza?
Well, there's so much talk about it here, and you're right, they're not talking about the economy. Will this be the convention that we remember where on the floor of the Democratic Convention, delegates booed God and Jerusalem being the capital of Israel?
It's been a PR disaster, and what we've seen is the true unhinged face of the left, the progressive left. This is not mainstream. She's going to get up here on this stage and try and scare America and make the Republican Party look like it's anti-woman. Make it look like we're going to lose all of our health care if the savior doesn't come. We belong to them. The idea that women are not empowered by Republican principles of free markets and free ideas, this is nutty town. We have entered bizarro world.
But this is about the taxpayers. Remember, they've added to this as well, taxpayer-funded abortions, taxpayer-funded birth control. So all of that's been included in what you're saying is fairly radical, and that was her claim to fame.
Yeah, that's right. Remember the context. The reason why the House GOP and Oversight and Reform Committee decided that she was not qualified to testify before Congress is because she's not an expert in anything other than her own needs, wants, and desires to get into our pocketbooks to subsidize her birth control.
Which, by the way, we found out was $9 a month. All right, the other big speaker of the night is Bill Clinton. Now, there was a big controversy this week. They brought up comments that had been relayed to Tim Russert in a conversation with Ted Kennedy. Years ago, Barack Obama would be carrying our bags. Then you go back to 2008, Bill Clinton saying, they played the race card on me, and they planned it from the very beginning.
Yeah, this is a dysfunctional family for sure.
Well, now he's going to be out there saying...
and you wonder if there's going to be more booze unleashed. I would think that any self-respecting woman would see the disconnect between elevating a Sandra Fluke, talking about the war on women, and having Bill Clinton on their pedestal and honoring Ted Kennedy yesterday. Women, are you thinking? Do you see what's happening here? It's a complete circus.
Let me go to the incoherent answer about a very simple question. Well, I think it's fundamental to voters. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? In spite of the facts, there are certain things that are incontrovertible, overwhelmingly incontrovertible. There are fewer people working now than when Barack Obama became president. Obama said he'd cut the debt in half, the deficit in half. It's $5.4 trillion, will be $6 trillion at the end of 4 years. How do they get over these facts that the American people are now suffering under?
They put Sandra Fluke on to serve as a huge distraction. We've talked about it before. Squirrel politics. Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Let's talk about anything other than the real shame and the economic death toll that's been leveled by this president.
You confident Romney Ryan win?
You can never be sure of anything in politics, but I think that you can't take anything for granted. And the fact is that we have so many inspired grassroots activists now on the right. And you look at the difference between putting this young woman who has nothing, no accomplishments. You know how Nancy Pelosi said that her nickname was Mimi? All of these women that they've elevated here, me, 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 me.
Okay.
What have they done? What business that have they grown? What have they done to establish themselves as leaders? And I think for my kids and for my daughter, these are not the role models of America.
Michelle, great to see you in person.
You bet.
Thanks
Take care.
for being here. Also coming up tonight, we are monitoring the podium, and we are awaiting speeches from Sandra Fluck and former President Bill Clinton. But first, our panel of Frank Luntz, Juan Williams, Lanny Davis, they're going to break down the convention so far and previews of President Obama's critical